Oh, well, Nathan, pull up a seat and brace yourself. Dude, because the last 5 days of racing just tore the roof off of motorsports. We are talking about a flat out war on the high banks of Eldora, where Logan Schuchart broke a gut wrenching winless streak for Shark Racing, and Kyle Busch laid down a concrete clinic in Dover. Plus, we've got Aaron Reutzel continuing his mind bending hot streak on a Tuesday night in Pennsylvania, while the asphalt oval saw a 20-year-old rookie shock the Xfinity field at the Monster Mile. Put your visor down because Switchin Grooves is green, 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 and we are diving into the technical decisions, the split second driver choices, and the massive off track drama that defined this week. I'm Russ Fritz,
And I'm Nathan Johns.
and we're telling you to strap in tight because this isn't just racing.
This is Switching Grooves.
What's going on, Nathan?
Not much, Russ. What's up with you?
Well, not a whole lot tonight. We actually have a pretty special guest to join us for a interesting uh, Indy 500 preview. We usually don't cover IndyCar, but hey, the more the
It's a
merrier,
special
right?
week. Gotta have a special episode.
Hey, that's fine. Let's bring him in. Jason, welcome to the
He's
show, buddy.
back.
Hey guys, thanks for having me again.
I'm glad to have you back, Jason.
Well,
So
thank you.
we've been. This was supposed to happen last week, but unfortunately, you fell a little ill. So we're glad you're feeling better, and we're able to make it on tonight. So, thanks for joining us. And I guess I can get straight into the dirt, so we can just get the show rolling and keep it going because this might be a little while. So,
Uh-oh.
but Friday night, May 15th, belonged to Rico Abreu of the World of Outlaws. The St. Helena, California native started seventh on the grid, and the Tony Stewart Curbed Agajanian, I always have a hard time pronouncing that, racing number 24, and put on an absolute masterclass. Abreu reeled in early leaders Brian Brown and Gio Scelzi, dissecting his car's handling over the first 10 laps while waiting for his fuel load to burn off. On lap 14, Abreu drove deep into turn one, sliding both Scelzi and Buddy Kofoid, and despite scraping the wall down the backstretch, he seized command. It was actually quite interesting. Abreu cleared Kofoid on lap 16 and led the final 14 laps of the 30-lap feature, and that secured his dominant victory, banking a $12,000 prize on his first Eldora appearance under the Tony Stewart Racing banner. Buddy Kofoid finished second for the Roth Motorsports number 83, with Gio Scelzi finishing third in the Spire Motorsports number 77. In Friday's USAC non-wing division, Kyle Cummins secured a dramatic $12,000 victory in the Petty Performance Racing number 3P. Cummins took the lead on lap 6, but a mid-race crash by Jacob Boxell sent debris flying, shattering Cummins' sun visor and leaving it flapping directly in his line of sight. What a hell of a race. Despite
Yikes.
severely compromised vision, Cummins maintained a strong rhythm on the cushion, and on the white flag lap, USAC ace Justin Grant pulled off a daring pass to take the lead, beating Cummins to the line by the width of a credit card. It was amazing. So, however, on the 30th and final lap, Cummins set up a massive diamond line entering turn one, sailed his car all the way to the turn two wall, and reclaimed the top spot to win by 1.358 seconds. Man, uh, I don't get into non-wing racing a whole lot, but that was interesting. So
Oh yeah.
I'm not even going to sit here and try to explain it. Just go back and watch it. Watch the highlights on YouTube or anything from Eldora this past weekend. It was great. Um, Brady Bacon, he capitalized on the last lap scramble. Oh, excuse me, on the last lap scramble to snatch second place, while Grant settled for third. Saturday night, Logan Schuchart's emotional break uh, came, and Bacon put on a USAC masterclass. So Saturday, the 16th, produced one of the most emotional victories of the dirt races season. Logan Schuchart, piloting as usual the Shark Racing number 1S, actually snapped a grueling 64 race World of Outlaws winless drought with a spectacular performance. The victory carried massive sentimental weight, as last fall, Schuchart lost his legendary grandfather, team owner, and mentor, Bobby Allen, who actually won the very first World of Outlaws race at Eldora in 1978. Schuchart battled slide job for slide job with USAC star Brady Bacon, who was actually performing double duty in the TKH Motorsports number 21H, and the two exchanged the lead multiple times in a breathtaking duel. Schuchart actually furious late race charge from Rico Abreu to capture the emotional victory. Abreu finished second to actually cap off an incredible podium sweeping weekend, while Bacon crossed the line in third. And Schuhart's victory marked his seventh career win at the Big E and extended his active streak to 11 consecutive seasons with a World of Outlaws feature win. Bacon, however, had already asserted his own dominance earlier in Saturday's USAC National Sprint Car program. Starting from the pole in the Chris Dyson Racing number 20, the Hoffman kid dismantled the 24 car field. Bacon led all 30 laps of the feature, pulling out a massive 3.4-second lead. And at the halfway mark, he was just gone and navigated through all the heavy dust and lap traffic to win by 3.2025 seconds. So the victory was actually Bacon's 62nd, I believe, career USAC National Sprint Car win, tying him with legendary Dave Darland for the second in the series all-time win list. Um, let's see. Kyle Cummins, he actually backed up his Friday win by finishing second, while Briggs Danner rounded out the podium in third, and Ashton Torgerson, we will talk about here. I'm trying to get mine done quick because I know you guys are going to go. I know how Nathan is. So, Torgerson's rookie campaign transitions at the Eldora weekend. I don't know. It marked a critical transition, I would say, for the 19-year-old rookie. I believe he's 19, maybe 20. But following the sudden announcement that Shark Racing actually parked his car, the number 1A, Torgerson struck a deal to take over the Jeff and Lori West owned Three Stooges Racing number 51 for the remainder of the year. So the seat became vacant after the team mutually parted ways with Scott Boguski, and Torgerson officially debuted in the number 51 this past Saturday at Eldora, but he only finished 23rd and didn't qualify any better than 21st. So not the greatest of a showing for a first showing with that team. Hopefully it gets better. I believe it will. Ashton's got, pretty decent amount of talent, and he's not terrible by any means. They just have to find their connection, and I believe they will. Moving over to High Limit. This was last night. Uh, the professional sprint car season with High Limit actually returned to midweek action on Tuesday with the high intensity drama both on and off the racetrack. But, well, the drama off the racetrack really isn't High Limit, but
I believe it was
either way.
FS1 they had the broadcast on.
Yes, they did broadcast on FS1 last night. I didn't watch it on FS1 because I have Flow, so I don't
I
know.
did. That was actually a pretty good race.
I don't know where the coverage started and where it ended. So
Supposedly it did start in hot laps. Supposedly, I missed the beginning of it, but they did show they showed the feature and some of the other highlights, I believe.
I couldn't tell you. I didn't watch it on FS1. Like I said, I have Flow. So Grandview Speedway. This is where they were at last night. So high limit racing converged on, uh, how do you say that, Nathan? Bechtelsville, Pennsylvania,
Oh,
Grandview
it's a great
Speedway.
question. I don't know. I just know it was
Oh,
Grandview.
you're from Pennsylvania. Come on.
I'll have to go look it up
but
because I don't know how to pronounce it.
they assembled at Grandview Speedway last night to run the third round of the Roto Rooter Midweek Series, and it was also broadcast live on FS1, like we said. Aaron Reutzel started on the pole in the Ridge and Sons Racing number 87 and led all 35 laps, but the victory was a stroke of immense luck. Rico Abreu started fifth, carved his way through the field, and mounted a relentless charge in traffic. It was pretty good. On lap 28, with 7 laps remaining, Abreu executed a brilliant slide job exiting turn 2 to snatch the lead from Reitzel, but, however, just moments after the pass was completed, well, unfortunately, a violent 3-car red flag incident involving Brett Marks, Dazen Pursley, and Chase Randall halted the race. So, because the lap was not complete, the running order reverted to the last lap completed, handing the lead back to Reitzel. Now, not to take anything away from Reitzel, but Rico was doing a hell of a job. So, well, Reitzel took advantage of the open red flag to adjust his stuff and do what he had to do, and he held off Abreu to secure the $20,000 victory. I mean, there was only 5 laps left, so the victory was actually Reitzel's 5th high limit win of 2026 in the last 7 races, as well, extending his championship lead to 33 points over Abreu. Chase Dietz finished third as the highest placed PA Posse star, with Casey Kane fourth and the Macri Motorsports number 39 and Brady Bacon fifth. So, pretty good race. Not a lot of BS, but I'll tell you what, it it was interesting to watch, especially Rico coming up and finally finding some speed and um, I don't know what else you want to call it, speed, grip, and some momentum with the new Tony Stewart Racing under or under Tony Stewart Racing under that banner. So good to see that happening. I really believe Abreu is talented, and being the champion from last year, I'd like to see him be able to defend it a little better. So, the Outlaws this week or last night, they postponed their Jacksonville race. The Outlaws, where were they going? Jacksonville Speedway. Um, Too good of little down there. So, track officials agreed to proactively postpone the Hy-Vee Perks 40 to Thursday, May 21st, and to ensure a premier track surface and clear weather. That's what they're going to do tomorrow night. So, but the big news coming out just today, which I think is kind of bullshit, to be honest with you, but David Gravel, I shouldn't really say Gravel. The Big Game Motorsports team was fined $2,000. Um,
I believe it was missing a
like
mandatory
I'm,
appearance.
yeah, I'm trying to think of the part of the rules.
It's part of the
Section
Outlaws
Section
Platinum
3.
Agreement.
Yeah, they violated. I'm trying to pull it up. I wrote it down so I could look. I'm pulling it up here. They violated Section 3, Item D of the Championship Platinum Membership Agreement after failing to attend a mandatory series promotional appearance earlier in the month. Gravel currently holds a 104-point lead over Carson Macedo in the standings. Now, if I read it correctly, the rule book actually is very vague on mandatory appearances. In a nutshell, it says that they must appear with reasonable availability, but Gravel was at the event. So this was I believe it was at Milton Hershey Schools over in Pennsylvania.
I think it was.
And see, Gravel was at the event, but the car was not. The car was actually at a sponsorship or a sponsor's event that was previously scheduled before The Outlaws event was scheduled. So the car was at their sponsors event, not at the World of Outlaws event. In my opinion, it's a load of crap. I mean, David made his appearance. They shouldn't have to haul around 2 or 3 cars just so they don't have to worry about getting a stupid $2,000 fine because they couldn't make it to your event because they're sponsored. I mean, do you not want their sponsors to bring money into this sport so this team can help, or to help this team travel and promote your sport, especially the reigning freaking champion and point leader of your series? I'm going to tell you what, World Racing Group, if I was gravel, I would definitely appeal this crap. And Nathan, you know how much I do not
I was
care
just about to
for.
say you cannot stand gravel, and this is the first
No,
time I've seen you this adamant
but
defending gravel. This is
but
weird for me.
you also know how unbiased I am when it comes to the sport.
Yes.
I I'm not a fan of David Gravel whatsoever. I'm as much of a David Gravel fan as you are a Denny Hamlin fan. So,
That's a fair
but
statement. That's pretty good.
but fair is fair. And I'm gonna tell you what, if I got a sponsor that's paying me 20 or $30,000 and I have to skip your event and eat a $2,000 fine, well, that's sure as hell what I'm gonna do because they keep me going. You don't.
Yes.
They're the they're the ones that put fuel in my tank, not you. No, it's not like it's high limit and like the reigning champion from high limit makes 400 some $1,000 this year no matter what. That's a little different. You know, then the Outlaws would have something to bitch about. But just my opinion. I really don't care. Um and they're gonna push people away, man. I'm telling you what, they're gonna push drivers away if they keep this crap up, especially with as vague as their rules are actually written, and it is absolutely ridiculous that they're gonna fine them, even though it says whenever reasonably available. Okay, well, it wasn't a reasonably available moment because their sponsor had an event that they signed a contract with them as well, and this event was scheduled before yours. So it's not like they just said, "Oh, hey, we want you to bring the car over today. Skip the Outlaws event, come over here." It's not like that happened. If that happened, then yes, you absolutely have grounds to fine or penalize the Big Game Motorsports team. But in my opinion, you don't have any grounds to if their event was scheduled way before yours and they signed a contract with them as well. What are they supposed to do? I mean, you put them between a rock and a hard place. They shouldn't have to carry around a show car in the damn trailer just so they don't have to worry about a stupid fine. So the Big Game Motorsports team, they made the right choice to go to their sponsors event, in my opinion, and I'm glad to see them do it. Tell World Racing Group to take their $2,000 to shove it in their ass. So that's the way I look at it. Anyway, Nathan, I'll hand it over to you for NASCAR.
Well, before we skip on to NASCAR, I wanted to update on the question you had asked me. It is pronounced Bechtelsville. I had to Google it because I
So I
had
was
no
right.
idea how to pronounce that. Yes, you were right. It took me a second
Bechtelsville.
because I was like, yes. The CH is more like CK, which is kind of funny to me. Yeah, when it comes to NASCAR this week, it was about the. They make the joke about nap car, and you probably could have taken a nap during the All Star race, and absolutely missed 0% of that race. The first lap was the biggest crash of the race, and after that, yeah, you could have taken your nap. You could have gone out to dinner, gone race to go kart somewhere like I did, and not missed a single thing. I'm actually kind of glad I didn't sit down and watch that race, at least live, because I would have been kicking myself having better things to do.
I didn't watch a bit of the All Star race because it was ridiculous, but we'll get to that when the time
Yeah,
comes.
we need to start with the Truck
Let's
Series race
start with
because
the
at least
trucks.
somebody had a good weekend.
So
Kyle
let me throw
Kyle
out my
Busch.
2 cents on
Okay,
there.
go for it.
because you know how I try to introduce each series and then let you do your thing. So
Yeah,
uh, the Truck Series, it was concrete wars at the Monster Mile. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series returned to Dover Motor Speedway on Friday, and it was the EcoSave 200, I believe, marking the
I believe
series.
so.
The series returned to concrete or that concrete mile after what, 6 years?
If I'm
7 years.
not mistaken, that's a seven. Okay,
7?
I can't count.
Yeah.
So Kyle Busch actually put on a master performance in the number 7 Spire Motorsports truck, and he dominated the field by leading 147 of the 200 laps and swept both stage victories. Only Ross Chastain, driving the number 45 Nice Motorsports entry, mounted the series challenge, and he led 49 laps after a daring tire gamble on the restart. But his bid ended when he was forced to make a late race green flag pit stop for fuel, and kind of made it what, just a side by side battle with Bush. So I mean, what, Bush pitted for fresh tires and fuel just before the final stage. Um, Overtook Chastain with 58 laps to go, and from there, Bush manage his fuel and tires and held off Thor Sports Ty Majeski by what, 3 seconds to claim the 69th victory in that series of his career. So I
He's
mean,
getting
what the hell?
closer.
But anyway, sorry, I didn't mean to steal your thunder.
No, you're good. I was going back and recapping some of the smaller moments. We obviously had Clint Boyer, who finally was not at the booth and was actually took his job seriously on track, which is a shocker in itself. But I guess the only thing that stays consistent is how bland his racing is. I mean, the only exciting parts is he took out his teammate, and I think he had some sort of run in. I believe it was who was it? I forget who it was now. Not Luke Baldwin. That was somebody else. Either way, Clint Boyer had two incidents where he was involved in pretty sketchy incidents. Spun his teammate out. Mini Tyrell ended up hitting the inside wall. Not real hard, but still hard enough to ruin his day. And then you got Destiny Spurlock, which I talked pretty highly on her, and I'm going to give her a little bit of leeway because it is what her second race. But at some point, you got to realize that when you're headed towards the inside wall, you don't stand on the gas trying to drive out of it at Dover. I mean, maybe that's just a rookie mistake, but she fought that thing from turn 2 to turn 3 and somehow still hit both walls, which is quite impressive if you ask me. But I mean, I feel like that was a rookie mistake. It could have been avoided. Just in the moment, I think it's just inexperience that caused her to wad that one up. And then you've got the other female in the field, Natalie Decker, who just uh, I have nothing nice to say about that. She straight up just quit. Like she had some sort of
She
mental health sponsor on the car, and her
took
mental
the
health
time to
doesn't
have a mental breakdown.
quit. Yes, had a great weekend to do it because it was on the car. I guess that works out. I don't even know how to react to that.
What a way! There you go. What a way to plug your sponsor. Have
That
a
that's
mental
a
breakdown
great
over
way to
the
plug your
radio.
sponsor. Like I don't even. I think she got penalized for a restart violation and then just self imploded.
It all
Like
just
I,
went
I
downhill from there for her. She literally broke down over the radio, told Josh Ryu, because she was driving a Ryu Brothers truck, told Josh Ryu over the radio, I'm not fucking coming back to this series. And blah, blah, blah. Like, oh my god, then
just
they
pull the
literally had
car over
to
and be done with it. Let's get over
they
this.
literally had to like talk to her like a child. If it's okay, don't worry about it. I would have been like, so get your shit together and put the pedal to the metal. Let's go.
Let's
No,
put this in
it's
perspective.
okay. You can bring it in if you can't do it. I'm just gonna stick to the O'Reilly series. Like, there's something about it. Well, I'm gonna tell
First
you what.
off,
If you can't handle, hang on a minute. Let me finish my rant
yeah,
here. If you cannot handle a stupid call, uh, that of NASCAR enforcing the rules. They have rules for a reason. You broke those rules and you got penalized. That's how shit works. If you can't handle that in the truck series, you definitely don't belong in the O'Reilly series, and you sure as hell don't belong in the Cup series ever. You don't
Here's what
even need to
makes
be
me
an ARCA
laugh.
if you ask me. I mean,
Here's what makes
go
me laugh
back, go
about
back,
that entire thing.
go back to playing on PlayStation, and there you go. I'm sorry, I ain't got nothing nice to say about it.
Yeah.
That
How? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Jason and Russ can correct me on this, but doesn't the progression work of ARCA, Trucks, O'Reilly Cup? Because if I'm not mistaken, it sounds like she thinks this whole process is or ARCA, O'Reilly, Trucks, Cup. Not sure that's how that works. I mean, the level
but
of
then you
talent
buy your
goes up
ride every week.
from Trucks to ARCA or from Trucks to O'Reilly. I mean, I think I'll just stick to the O'Reilly series. The O'Reilly series, you don't do much better in as it is.
I'm
Like you're
sorry,
going to
but
finish the same position.
NASCAR needs to get rid of this special privilege or special permission bullshit and go back to the way it was. You start in the trucks, and once you show that you can do it, you work your way to the next series. And then
She wasn't even that
once
good in
you
ARCA. Why is she in Trucks?
because she got money, everybody's like, well, and I saw so many people saying, well, here comes another OnlyFans. Guys, she's already on the damn thing. Why do you think she's got the money to pay for the rides that she gets? It's not that she's any damn good. I'm sorry.
And
I'm not gonna beat around the bush. I state my opinion, and I really don't care. And YouTube can demonetize me for this one. I really could care less. But I'm gonna put my opinion out there, and I'm sorry, but you are not worth the O'Reilly series. You're not even worth the Truck series, apparently. So go back home, go back to OnlyFans, do what you do, and make your money there. Because we don't need this kind of crap on the racetrack, anyways. Because eventually, that's how someone's gonna get hurt.
the
If
best
not
way I
killed,
can compare. Go ahead, Jason. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, if not killed, because of her foolishness and her being so not so aware of her surroundings on the track.
Just as
Well,
bad
I
as
mean,
her 15-second wait time in the early race this season, where she had plenty of time to not hit the other guy and hit the
Sam
brakes
Mayer,
and go
yeah.
around him. Huh,
I mean,
come on.
That really hurt.
here's what I don't quite understand. And I'm going to make this comparison. Now, if people get mad at me for this comparison, go for it. Haley Deegan worked her way through the series. She had what, 3 years in Truck Series? And you saw her progression get better. Natalie Decker has what? Maybe a year and a half's worth of experience in the Truck
What she's
Series.
got.
Now I understand it's money, but let me get through this part. Haley Deegan did not have the experience to go from Trucks to O'Reilly. She rushed it. Maybe it was the money that made her get with the AM Racing, but AM Racing no longer exists, from my understanding. So it just it's kind of a combination there. Natalie Decker was no good in ARCA. She had what, Venturini Motorsports as her team. They are no longer a thing, from what I understand. She wasn't really good in Truck Series. Didn't really have much to shine on, other than a bunch of crashes. And somehow she ended up in the O'Reilly series with lackluster performance in the Truck Series. I mean, Haley didn't even make it to the O'Reilly series, and she outperformed you easily. She had way better results in the Truck Series than Natalie Decker ever did in her years that she was in the Truck Series. So maybe
See,
somebody
then
can.
here's
It
my
like
opinion.
NASCAR needs to
I
fix
bel
this. Is what they need to do.
I believe that as much as I wasn't really a big fan of her, I'll tell you what. I truly believe that Haley Deegan had a true passion for wanting to be a race car driver. I don't think Natalie Decker does. I just think it's something that she wants on her
The
damn resume,
attention.
and to say that I can do it or I did it or blah 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 to make a name for herself. That's
She's
it.
no Danica
She just
Patrick, I'll
wants
tell you
it.
that. Well, okay, I can't say that because she has just the amount of crashes as Danica.
I
So
know. Danica Patrick's a lot better looking than her too. So
yeah,
I mean, if you want to compare anything, she was a better driver, and she was better
here's what
looking.
here's just the timeline that shows how immature we're talking here with Natalie Decker. First race of the year, she is topless, all right, partially topless with Bert Kreisner. It's the first race of the year and we're already starting to strip. Like, come on. You can't be starting the season off. That it may look like good PR. It is most certainly not good PR for your sponsors. You look like a fool with no
And
shirt
certainly,
on.
certainly not much of a fucking role model for your new
Yeah,
baby
that's not
child.
something you want to be showing, your kids
It's
or
bad enough
young
that they're
fans.
probably gonna see your OnlyFans shit when they get older.
Well, I just
Because once it's
there.
out
I think
there,
there are
you
some.
could you could take it down as much as you want, but once it's out there, it's out there, and it
I
can be
think there
found.
is way bigger issues than just the OnlyFans thing. I
I'm
really do.
just
I
I'm
think
just
there's
saying,
way
like
more
everybody wants
personal
to leave
issues
that out.
involved
No,
there.
I'm not gonna leave that out. I'll leave that.
Yeah.
I'll throw that in
Well, I'm
there
not even saying that. I'm saying
because
that.
that's all she's doing it for. That's it.
Yeah.
It's the attention. That's what the
Exactly.
OnlyFans thing is about. It's not to like call her a freaking slut or anything like that. It's just the simple fact that it's all for attention. That's all she cares about.
Well,
She
that's what
doesn't
she's
care
getting
about
right
being
now
she
out of this.
doesn't care about
Unfortunately.
being she doesn't care about being a good race car driver. And no, yeah, it's gonna have she's gonna get the attention because we're all gonna talk about it. Everybody has
Yeah,
gave their
that's
opinion
what's.
about it. But it's gonna die off and then we could care less if she comes back.
I mean,
So
I think the quote of the week from that one was from Door Bumper Clear. She's in over her head. Simple as that. So with that, I'm going to move on from the O'Reilly or from the Truck Series because I don't. She doesn't need any more attention than she's already getting.
all right, sounds good to me.
The
Let's move on
O'Reilly
to Corey Day.
series, I was gonna say the O'Reilly series definitely changed a lot of people's opinions, and I think we talked about this on the last episode where it's debatable if Corey Day, is in the right place to be moving up to the Cup Series. There was rumors that Connor Zilic would take over the 48. There's rumors that Corey Day would take over the 48, and I think we had talked about either, in private or on the show last week that I didn't think Corey Day was ready for the Cup Series. He has no experience, outside of the O'Reilly Series. And he really didn't show a whole lot of potential other than the one win at Talladega, which it's a wild card race. Anybody can win at Talladega. But this weekend, I feel like was a statement weekend for Corey Day. He took on the one of the best in the O'Reilly series, Justin Allgaier, and he won at Dover. I mean, if that is not a statement to say that your Talladega win was not a fluke, I don't know what it is. I mean, he did manage to rally from I feel like a pretty good distance back, catch Allgaier, and still hold him off. I mean, he did a pretty magnificent job at holding off one of the greatest of the series that still runs. I mean that
Geyer
was a good
was what?
weekend.
He oh, he's still the points leader, I believe.
I believe so. I believe
He
Allgaier is still the points leader.
I mean, Allgaier led I think the most laps of the day is 71, but
Yes,
just
Allgaier is the
didn't
leader
he
by
didn't he didn't lead
175 points.
he didn't lead the lap that counted.
Yeah, I mean I was quite surprised that Corey Day, he held on. I mean, he beat was it Allgaier by a little over 4/10 of a second. But I mean, he scored way more points than Allgaier did. Like what they had, he scored almost double what Allgaier scored today. And Allgaier, I would consider as one of the best in the series. And
Allgaier probably could have
he's
had
showing.
it though. I
Yeah,
mean,
he
he
Allgaier could
hesitated.
have had it.
The 55 car was that Blake Lothian.
I'm gotta look.
But you know, Allgaier hesitated as the 55 moved inside and then back outside as they were coming up to lap him. And Day didn't hesitate. he actually utilized that car as a pick to rip the high side against the concrete wall. So he split the lap car and pulled away and secured his what, about a half a second victory.
Almost a half a second. Yes, it was 0.461 seconds.
So I mean, it's not like Allgaier did a bad job or anything. It's just
No, he
bad
did
luck.
it. I mean, I think it was just an all around good weekend for Corey Day. I mean, he qualified third, finished first. Allgaier qualified 13th, finished second. I feel like that's a pretty good weekend. I mean, I was looking to see if it says how many laps he led. It doesn't really say, but I mean, it was I feel like it was a pretty good weekend. I was trying to look and see if I could compare how many laps he led. It doesn't really tell me, but let me see. Oh, okay. Corey Day led 4 laps. 4 laps in a day. Allgaier led 71. It was all because I feel like it was all because of that, hesitation that gave Corey Day the chance, but still, you know, capitalized when he needed to, but he held him off. He just made the move, and Allgaier just couldn't keep with him. I mean,
And then
there wasn't really a whole lot I could really talk about with the O'Reilly series because I didn't get to really watch that one in its fullness. I was trying to see if I missed any highlights from that. Um,
Chastain
yeah.
had one of the. It seemed like he had one of the fastest cars in the field. He led 68 laps and won stage two. But
For the O'Reilly
they,
series.
I believe so, yeah.
Oh, I'm going back to look because I missed it. Yes, he did. Sorry, I
Yeah,
did miss that.
he made contact with Taylor Gray, which actually made them both spin out.
Finished second in stage one and finished first in stage two. I did forget that one.
Oh, and then Allgaier's second place finish actually extended his championship lead to 175 points now over Sheldon Creed, who actually finished 18th. So
Yeah,
not a
and
bad day for any of those guys. Just
Jesse Love did not have a good day. He finished 23rd. He's 2 points back from Sheldon Creed. And Corey Day's what now within 200 points. He's at 195 back from Allgaier. So it's all looking like a crazy, crazy field right now. I think the closest battle is actually in the O'Reilly or in the Truck Series, where first through sixth is within 100 points of the leader, which is crazy. Where everybody else is like 200 points back. Yeah.
so pretty much all I can say about the O'Reilly series. It wasn't a bad race, and it wasn't drama filled. It was good racing.
We went from a good race to a decent race to take a nap time.
My God,
That's how the Cup
RTP
Series.
Motorsports video, man. I love that man. He's like,
I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
oh my gosh, he went on a huge rant about this stupid All Star race. You call that an All Star race? That was pathetic.
The best way I know how to describe what I watched in the highlights for the All Star race, you would have had a better weekend had you just made it a points race. If we're going to do this shenanigans where we're going to run all 20, all 40 cars at once, just call it a points race. Because at the end of the day, the people that needed a good points day finished in the top 5 and 10. Like, it wasn't even, worth having a race at that point. The same guy who started on the pole, dominated the race, was in with the top, I think, 3 the whole time, except for stage 2, who still ended up finishing, I think, in the top 20, or at least top half the field in stage 2, and they inverted the field.
He says that NASCAR is doing too much, and to put the points race back at Dover and make the All Star race the Wednesday night shootout like it used to be a long time ago
Denny said something about
in
doing
front
it
of
at
the Coke
Nashville.
600. The Wednesday before the Coke 600. Then I mean, listen to the guy.
Yeah.
You say
I
you
mean,
take his opinion seriously, and he was the most popular driver forever, on top of his dad being the most popular driver. I mean, you think you'd listen to the guy?
what drives me nuts about this All Star race is you had guys that, you know, are made it into the All Star field. They won their way into the race through their achievements, past championships, past season winners. They fit the bill to be in the All Star race, and they didn't get to run the All Star race because they were wrecked out on lap 2 of a 350 lap race. They didn't even make it to the All Star race part of the race. Daniel Suarez won the fan vote, and he finished what? Towards the back? Didn't even finish
Even
21st, 4 laps down. He got
even
damage on with the first incident.
even on the download, Junior and his guys, they said do away with the fan vote for one, and take it back to being literally all-star drivers. Not everybody
Or
gets
just
a
bring the open.
freaking participation ribbon like we all did back in school on
Bring
field day.
bring the open back. Why did we get rid of the open to start with? I personally cannot figure out why we got rid of the open. The open was the best racing we had last year at North Wilkesboro.
It's like
What?
NASCAR
Why
just
did
took
we get
this
rid of it?
just like NASCAR took this weekend and said, "Here's
Do
your little
something.
trophy. We'll give you a little participation trophy. Just make you feel special that you were in the All-Star race." Damn it. I'm gonna tell you what, if you're not an all-star, you don't deserve to be in the all-star race.
I don't even think
Let's
like
just get that out there. If you're not a star driver, I mean, hell, all Natalie Decker would have had to done was pay enough money, and she could have been raced the fucking all-star race this weekend. And she ain't shit. She just proved this week that she ain't an all-star. So, I mean,
maybe I'm wrong, but I feel
that's
like
just me being an asshole, I guess, but whatever.
if we get rid of the open race and just do all stars only, I feel like it should be past champions, which I think is already in there, the previous season's winners. I honestly don't think Carson Hocevar should have made the field for this year, but he did. I feel like it should be the previous year's winners. So, say you win in your rookie year, you get to participate in the following year's All Star race. I mean, we had 16 winners the one year in the Cup Series. That would have filled out almost half the field for the next year.
2 years ago,
I think it was 2 years ago. It
3
might have
years
been
ago.
2024. I don't remember. But when we
I think it was
we
I think
had,
it was the first year this new car came out.
yeah, I think it was, which
I think
was great.
19 different winners in the first half of the season. It was crazy.
Well, 19 winners would fill out the majority of the field. You take past champions if they didn't win a race, they should make the All-Star field. So that would be what? I think Kyle Busch did win a race that year, so that would be previous season winners. But say you didn't win a championship, but you won a race. You're in the field, but it should be previous champions, previous winners. I honestly don't think poll awards should qualify you, but
Because it could just be dumb luck that you got a pole award.
but here's the part that I want to question is I want to know, should they have the open for the remaining spots? Have the people that didn't qualify for the field race to fill the 26 or 25 spots, or do we just take the previous winners and champions from the years before? Because that we could have somebody win 10 races in a year like Carl Larson did, and that makes 26 other winners that we have to have in the field. So you might be able to do that, but multiple wins kind of puts it to where, say, 5 different drivers dominate a 35 race season, 8 wins each, just hypothetically speaking. That means we only have 5 race winners, and if they're past champions, that would put them in on that. But I mean, how many past champions are still in the series? I can rattle off Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, Chase Elliott, uh, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney. There's what, 5 right there. Um, I can't think of really any other past champions that are still in the field. Oh, Brad. Okay, that makes 6. There really is not a whole lot of past champions that are still in the Cup Series. All the recent guys are the ones that are still winning the races. There isn't a whole lot of previous champions left because Hendrick's dominated. You know, Penske's dominated. Really hasn't had a Joe Gibbs championship since what, Kyle Busch, and he hasn't. He's with RCR now. Like, I really don't know if we can have a field like that unless we just started filling the spots of the rest of the field. But this race might have been the worst race I have ever seen from NASCAR. Period. Worst decision at least I've ever seen them make. I mean, there was talks of them going to Nashville next year. Quite honestly, anything is better than going to Dover. Personally, I wish they didn't race at Dover at all until they got rid of this car. That's just my opinion because it's the worst race of the year. Because whoever qualifies in the pole normally ends up winning the race because it's really not that good with this new next-gen car. It's trash, in my opinion. But, I mean, at the same time, my opinion is it was supposed to be a hometown, fun weekend. We had the Pit Crew Challenge. Go back to the Pit Crew Challenge where they actually competed in a convention center or something, where it made it actually worth, exciting. This all come down pit road and, do your pit stop to take off. It's so, the track was so small, you couldn't even get any momentum going. They put the speed limit in. So it's just like doing a live pit stop in practice. It doesn't really bring a whole lot of excitement. I mean, for crying out loud, Denny Hamlin spun entering the track and still won the pole. Like,
Denny Hamlin.
There really was no excitement this weekend. We had a crash on lap 1 or lap 2 that took out, a good chunk of the contenders that should have been in the All-Star race that couldn't even compete because they had to puzzle piece their cars back together. And we have a guy who really didn't deserve to win because he really had no competition. He couldn't get the starts. So the long run's the only reason he won. He got lucky. Simple as that, really. It's just
Crushed out.
It baffles me that we have an all-star race and they actually think it was going to be good. We have been saying this since what, January, when they released this schedule or whenever it was, that Dover being the all-star race is the stupidest decision I have ever heard of. Now maybe this
when they announced the format, just made it even worse. Like this was the worst ever all-star race, the most pathetic display of an all-star race that I have ever seen in NASCAR. Period.
If we want a conspiracy theory, here's a conspiracy theory that I saw this past weekend that really irks me. There has been 7 different drivers who have won the all-star race and went on to win the championship. Jimmy Johnson is 2 of them. I think Jeff Gordon was 2 of them. They had Darrell Waltrip. I think Ricky Rudd. I think Brad Keselowski was one of them. Kyle Larson and Chase Elliott. All these drivers went on, won the All-Star race, went on to win the championship. We literally put it at a track where Denny Hamlin is known for being good. He didn't even have to do anything and he won the race. Like, if we want a conspiracy theory, we got Tyler Reddick just waxing the field early on in the season. He's kind of struggled lately, but also Jordan hasn't been at the track. There's a little bit of an issue there too, if anybody hasn't noticed that yet. And then we've got, they NASCAR, not just some random place. NASCAR put that stat out. Like, can we just come out and say it that you're trying to give him the championship? Like, if you're going to give hints like this, just come out and say it. I mean, I'm sure you guys will find another way to try to cover your asses and say that he choked the championship away. But it's like you are literally feeding into the problem. Your car straight up sucks at Dover. You can't, I mean, you did a rule change. Good for you. Like it really did anything. It didn't do anything for the All-Star race. Yes, they put the resin all the way across the track and made the racing wider. But you put the
This
All-Star
whole
race at Dover.
no, Anthony, and he couldn't anymore. He couldn't hack it, so he quit and came back to NASCAR.
Don't worry. I have a fun fact about Indy and
But
I'm so excited about it.
here's the thing,
Uh-oh.
Nathan. NASCAR's car completely sucks. It blows. Their management now completely sucks. They have no idea what they're doing. I don't care what anybody says. They suck, and they're taking the sport in the entirely wrong direction. And their strategy just sucks. You know, quit changing things quit trying to fix things that don't need to be fixed. You're doing way too much. Just like Dale Jr. said, you're doing too much. Plain
Yeah,
and simple.
it's very frustrating that it's gotten to this point. Like I try to defend NASCAR hard, and you guys have seen that. But I cannot defend this decision. That has to be the dumbest All-Star race I have ever watched on. I didn't even bother watch it. I was so mad that they were actually going to go through with this that I didn't even bother watching. It simply was not worth watching. It was very frustrating to see the sport that I love just completely backhand the fans in the face with such a piss poor showing. Like it was just bad. Like I hope NASCAR next year actually listens to the fans. Now, granted, I know we're talking about NASCAR here, and they don't listen to their fans worth shit. But if we're going to, you know, hurt the fans with this racecraft, you got to do something else to fix it because this is absolutely diabolical how bad that race was. The All Star race has never been this bad. We had freaking neon underglow on cars one year, and that was still better than this
It's
All
kind of
Star race.
cool. I like
I
that.
thought it was kind of interesting. Everybody hated it. I thought it was kind of interesting, but I wouldn't want to have it
I mean,
for other.
the numbers at the back of the door were kind of they look like shit. They're just as bad as being at
Yeah.
the front of the door, but
I would have
whatever.
loved for them to do the banner on the car rather than the underglow, but that's just me. But like, we've had an All Star race at Texas. We had an All Star race at Bristol. The Bristol one I can kind of argue. But like we've had North Wilkesboro, we had Charlotte. Those are both semi close to where all these drivers live at race shops. The whole point of the All Star race, excuse me, was to be close to home and be a fun kind of blow off steam weekend for $1 million. Now, yes, I understand that racing for money heightens the tensions. That was the whole point. That was the whole point of it being a
It's
money
also
race.
supposed to be meant for the best of the best.
Yes,
Not
exactly.
not just anybody that has money or thinks they can drive
I mean, you
to
get lucky and you win one
participate
race.
in
You
and say
still
that they
beat
were
the
part of it.
rest of the field. I just,
It's not meant to
I would
be a
love to
350 lap
justify NASCAR.
endurance.
Yeah. The All Star race has always been what? I think 200 laps at most. We were 50 laps short of a points race at Dover. That's literally all it took was another 50 laps. Had they run 50 laps underneath that first caution,
They
we
probably made
literally
those
would
50
have had a
laps up
points race.
with yeah, they probably
Like
made those up with
we
all the
literally
practice
watched a
and
points race at Dover. Like it wasn't even a good race. I mean, I've we've been into this so far. We didn't even talk about all the people who struggled on pit road. I mean, Ryan Blaney,
at this
Chase
point it's
Elliott,
irrelevant anyways.
Daniel Suarez lost a wheel after the
I
checkered
saw
flag.
that.
Had
Yeah, that
a
was
blinding pit stop and absolutely just plastered the wall. Somehow won the All Star vote, which I do believe that needs to go because all the fan
that's the
votes going
team
to
I
be.
want to vote for. They can't lose. They can't tighten the lug nut.
Yeah,
One single lug nut.
we are what 4 years into this car, and we're still having problems with cars keeping wheels staying on their cars. We're 4 years
That
in, people. I'm
that
sorry
means
if
it's
I'm
time
yelling
for
and
it to
hurting
go.
people with earphones.
It needs to
Like,
go. This car needs to go. I'm sorry. I've said it 100 times. I'll say it again. It needs to go.
I'll
It
say at
sucks.
101, this car needs to go. I just,
Go back to the
I'm really
Gen 6 car.
tired of
I could
justifying
get
NASCAR.
behind the Gen 6 car. It wasn't too bad. I mean, I prefer the old fashioned Twisted Sister, but I understand things change. But this car sucks. Okay, they need to take a step back.
The only good
So
thing that came out of this weekend is the end of Fox's
the end
broadcast
of
in
it,
NASCAR.
the
Well,
end of the
for the
weekend, the end
season,
of Fox.
the end of the series season for Fox. And the only thing that makes this funnier is they posted who is this is going to lead into Jason's part. They posted who the broadcast crew was going to be for Indy. And they wrote that Jamie Little was going to be on the broadcast crew. And I quite literally wrote, "Thank God they took Jamie Little." And wouldn't you know it, she reacted to it with a thumbs up. Man, I really hope she reads the rest of my comments on my Facebook because I'm telling you, that is not a good thing for IndyCar. If she's that bland in the Truck Series, you better really hope she is not that bland in IndyCar or she's a pit reporter because that's about the only thing she's going to be able to do.
Before we hand it to Jason, though, I didn't
Sorry,
hear
that's my rant.
I didn't hear you talk about what I thought I would hear you talking about, which would be the NASCAR Hall of Fame inductees.
Oh, trust me, if you thought I was livid about the cup about the All-Star race, I don't think you want to hear my opinion on this All-Star vote. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Yes, they voted Kevin Harvick and I forget the other guy's name, the Pioneer ballot. But for those of you out there who have not seen who made the NASCAR Hall of Fame, let me go look this up just to make sure I get his name right and do him justice.
Jeff Burton, Kevin Harvick.
I was trying to think of the last guy's name. NASCAR
Probably
class
something.
of 2027.
I mean,
Larry Phillips. Okay, so we
Phillips.
got
That's what
Larry
I was thinking.
Phillips, who won on the local series. He got what 5 championships on local short tracks? I can give him that. Kevin Harvick, obviously, he had a Hall of Fame worthy career with a championship. He took over for Dale Senior. I would qualify him as having a Hall of Fame career. Jeff Burton, aka the mayor. First off, I want to know how the hell he got that name. And second off, who the heck was on this Hall of Fame voting ballot? Because dear Lord, what has he done that made him Hall of Fame worthy? Like what
He's got a pretty decent
somebody's going to have
career,
to
but
explain this to me why he made the Hall of Fame because he definitely didn't really do anything to be this early. He
I
beat out
know.
Greg Biffle, which I can understand it's a little early for him to be in the Hall of Fame. It's still fresh. But you have all these other people who are way more deserving than Jeff Burton. And Jeff Burton made the Hall of Fame before they did. Like I
I mean,
fully
the whole
cannot
Biffle.
comprehend how they're voting these people in. And I feel like this is an ongoing issue every year that these people get voted in and they really don't deserve it over the other people they're going against. It frustrates the
Whole
hell out
the whole entire Biffle argument is, for one, we don't know if maybe the family requested that he doesn't even get considered this year because they don't want it to feel like a sympathetic vote in. They want him to earn his way in, which
and
he
I can
absolutely
totally understand
deserves
that.
it. So I understand that part. We don't know if that's true or not. I'm not saying that it is. We don't know if that
I,
could be the case. Maybe
I do
NASCAR just
feel like
didn't want it to be a sympathetic vote in to the Hall of Fame.
I
But I
do feel
mean,
like the incident is still fresh, so I do feel like it is a little too soon to be voting him in. Now, I'm not saying if he did get voted in that it was a sympathy vote, but I feel like in the moment, I feel like if he were to get voted in right now, I don't know if it would feel like the accomplishments would have been recognized. I feel like it would
he
have been
didn't
more of
have.
a sympathy one.
It's not like he won a bunch of championships or anything. I'm not saying he wasn't a good driver, but to be honest with you, I mean,
He had a
his
championship in
career
the Truck
wasn't
Series in O'Reilly. Bro,
his
Bush.
career wasn't any. really much more stellar than Jeff Burton's. So,
See, I
I
feel like it
mean,
is. I feel like he was better than Jeff Burton. I mean, he had what I think more wins than Jeff Burton. He also has way more championships than Jeff Burton. I can tell you that right now because he has at least a Truck Series and a Busch Series championship, and I don't think Jeff Burton has either.
he
Doesn't
didn't
even have a
really
Cup
race in
championship.
those series. You got to remember that.
Well, Jeff Burton did race in the Busch Series, though.
Yeah,
He
but
did.
it's not like he spent a lot of time there. Biffle spent much more time there than Burton did.
I mean, I did see this the other day, and I'm going to make
Like
light
Kyle
of
Busch
this.
going down to the Truck Series now just to pad his freaking resume because he can't cut it in Cup Series anymore, dude. Like,
That is pretty funny. I'm not going to lie. Even then, he's still struggling. Like he would show up to the Busch Series and you wouldn't even want to buy a ticket because you knew who was going to win. You could almost predict it when you saw him on the entry list. Now it's not
when
so
they were
certain.
bushwhacking the series.
But I mean, back when he had KBM, he could show up that race and he'd put an absolute can of whoop ass on the field. Now he's the one who's getting his butt kicked pretty regularly in there. I think he's got what 2 wins this year in the Truck Series. And
But
I think it's the most wins he's had in how many years in the Truck Series or in general for a year.
so,
He's starting to fall off. It sucks. But
so
we need to get
before,
Jason in. I
yeah,
forget.
before I hand it off to Nation, Nate, or yeah, Nathan,
Jason.
Jason, I will give my strategic outlook about this summer real quick, since I don't have anything in my notes about IndyCar. So the summer grind, strategic outlook, as I'm calling it. As the calendar actually moves deeper into May, the summer grind is beginning to take its toll on equipment and personnel. For the World of Outlaws, the upcoming Stars and Stripes salute at Knoxville and Houston will actually test the high-speed aerodynamic profiles of the big game and Roth teams, while Gravel actually seeks to rebound from this bullshit $2,000 fine. In NASCAR, the transition back to the concrete basics of Dover and the subsequent intermediate ovals like Charlotte's Coca-Cola 600 will actually test if Van Gisbergen can translate his road course mastery into oval track success. The points battles in all the series actually remain fluid, but the emergence of definitive Tier 1 performers, Denny Hamlin in Cup, Corey Day in Xfinity, David Gravel in Outlaws, and Aaron Reutzel in High Limit, have actually established a benchmark for the rest of the field. To close the gap, competitors must focus on the technical touches highlighted in this week, which comes to wing adjustments, shock tuning, making changes to the sprint cars under red flags, and just complete surgical management of lap traffic in NASCAR. So, but I don't
I'm
know.
excited for this summer
I
stretch. I really am.
That's from what last week, what May 15th, I'll say, because our last show was the 14th. Uh, the events from May 15th to today have actually provided a wealth of data for racing analysts, and the key takeaways for professional peers include restart timing in both sprint cars and NASCAR. The initial launch off the restart has actually become primary to being a passing opportunity. Aaron Reutzel and Denny Hamlin demonstrated that the throttle control is actually more important than raw horsepower in these moments. Structural resiliency? Well, the silly season shifts highlight the fragile nature of multi car dirt teams. Scaling back to a single car is increasingly seen as a move toward competitive sustainability. Lapped car picks? Well, Corey Day's late race pass on Justin Allgaier at Dover shows that lap traffic management is the ultimate differentiator in high banked asphalt racing, much like it is on dirt. And Reitzel's win at Grandview actually emphasizes the critical importance of caution and red flag timing, where a single incomplete lap can completely erase an on track pass to dictate the winner. The racing world now turns its attention to the high banks of Charlotte and the high banked clay oval of Jacksonville, Knoxville, and Huset's. The data banked this week suggests that the championship favorites are those who can actually read the track surface faster than their competitors can read the telemetry. So that's what I've got. So I'm going to pass it off to Jason.
Before you
All right,
start,
man.
Jason, he forgot one and very important race. You forgot the
Well,
Indy 500, Russ. That's the whole reason
It's
Jason's
not
here.
over yet.
But you said Charlotte.
I know
You
I
mentioned
didn't.
Charlotte. You forgot Indy.
Ethan, I remember. I don't know much about Indy song, but yes, Indy coming up. I don't know. I don't know much about Indy cars. I don't follow them. I've never followed
It's
them in my
this
life.
weekend. It's the Charlotte double, silly.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Anyway, let's let him have his moment here.
Okay.
well, let's see. What should I talk about? Should I talk about the guy that founded the Speedway? How he came up with the idea was Carl Fisher. He was helping some friends out in France at the famous racetrack over in France, Le Mans. And so he came back to America in 1905. I was looking around for property in the Indianapolis area. He rejected two properties, and the third one he came across was the Presley Farms, which was 305 acres of land on the west side of Indianapolis. I'm sorry, 328 acres, 5 miles outside Indianapolis. Uh, in December, to go in with him on this partay, I guess, this idea he had envisioned to build the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Um, Carl Fisher originally wanted a 3 mile speedway, but then he seen the danger involved, so he decided to go with the 2.5 mile speedway that we have today. Um, the first race, well, actually, before they had the first Indy 500 in 1911, they had a hot air balloon competition Saturday, May 5th of 1909,
That's pretty cool.
right? And then, like I said, they had the first Indianapolis 500 in 1911, was won by Ray Haroon in number 32. He was also the first driver to have a review mirror on his race car.
That's crazy. That's a crazy fun fact, actually.
Yeah, I was pretty shocked that I actually had to read about because I forgot. I had went to the museum at the Speedway many times, and I totally forgot about that stat. I thought it was a pretty cool fun fact to share with our viewers. Um, yeah, he won in the number 32 Marmon Wasp, I believe they call it the car. Um, one of the most notable wins in Indianapolis 500 was in 1969 by the driver of Mario Andretti. He he's the only Andretti to win at the Indianapolis 500 in the history of that family.
That's cool.
Oh yeah. AJ Foyt, he got his first Indy 500 win in 1961. See, the 2011 Indy 500 was won by Dan Weldon in the bicentennial 10, I think they call it era. Unfortunately, that was his last win of that year because we tragically lost him in October 2011 in a racing crash in Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Rip. Um, Rookie Alexander Rossi, he won the 100th edition in 2016 on a Gable of Gas and stuff. If you listen to the radio on the broadcast and you hear Brian Herta telling Rossi clutching clutching something, save gas, and then just full speed when he was getting down the backstretch. He crossed the line at like 120 miles an hour compared to the 230 they go.
Yeah.
I got last year's winner, Heath Polster, for this year's 500. Alex Palou for Target Chip Ganassi. Uh, I have different groups of like winners, the two-time club.
Who
Speaking of
has the
that,
most wins? I'm curious.
the most wins is the four group, and there
Okay.
is a amount of drivers. And shit is Elio Castro Neves, AJ Foyt, Rick Mears, and Al Unser Sr.
Really? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I thought AJ might have five, but I was mistaken for Jeff Gordon's 5 wins at the Brickyard and Michael Schumacher's 5 wins in the United States Grand Prix
Okay.
racing. Um, there's all kinds of famous families of the 500, from the Ansers to the Andres to the Foyts to the Benhouses and to the Rahal family, just to name a
I believe
few.
the Rahals were from PA, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they're from northern PA, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, they haven't won out there since Bobby did it years ago.
Yeah.
So it'd be
I
nice
have
to
a
grab
question.
them.
I have another question for you because I think you and I talked about this earlier this week, and you might have an answer to that. I know there's a tradition where they drink milk after the Indy 500. Has there ever been a driver who didn't drink the milk?
That's a very good question. Yes, there was. In 1993, Emerson Fittipaldi drank orange juice in Victory Lane instead of the traditional milk.
Interesting. That's
Yeah,
one I would have never thought to know. That's actually kind of cool.
it's quite interesting because like the year after he did that, he ended up wrecking the race and getting hurt. So the bad
That's
omen, drink your milk,
crazy.
kid.
Now, I've heard there was a rumor. I think was it Chip Ganassi had a tunnel that they were using to test their Indy cars in. Was it Ganassi or was it Rahal? I forget. Somebody had a tunnel they were using in PA. I forget which team it was now.
I want to say it was Chip Ganassi, if I'm not mistaken, to be honest with you.
Because I saw that story this week and I had to Google where it is. And for those of you who don't know where it is along the PA Turnpike. I forget the name of the tunnel it was, but I had to Google where it is. But it is actually visible from the current PA Turnpike based on where it is. So if you guys were to go look up that story and look up the tunnel name, it is visible from the PA Turnpike, which explains why it cuts through all the mountains, is because that used to be a active tunnel that they shut down and built the turnpike around, which is the toll road out here.
Huh.
I thought that was
That-
kind of cool. I saw that on, I think it was VinWiki. I saw that story and I couldn't believe it, and then realized where the tunnel is. Is the map actually shows they built the turnpike around said tunnel, and you can see the route that the road used to go. I believe it is behind one of the the buildings they store the salt in. It looks like a giant egg. It is behind one of those in like a service plaza for PennDOT. It is visible behind that service building. I looked that up. I thought that was kind of cool for this episode.
It's pretty cool
Fun
to know.
fact. It is. It's pretty
Awesome.
interesting. It's a pretty cool fun fact.
I'll have to see if I can find the tunnel name while he's. Do you have anything else, Jason?
There's been a couple times where the Indianapolis 500 wasn't ran. The first time was in 1917 to 1918 due to World War One. The second time was from 1942 to 1945 due to World War Two. Uh, Here's a fun fact from 6 years ago. The 2020 Indy 500 was supposed to be ran on May 24th of that year, but they pushed it back due to the COVID-19 pandemic. and it was raced on August 23rd, and day before my birthday, and Takuma Sato ended up winning that race. So I got the starting lineup, and that's about all I got really. Unless you guys got more questions, please feel free to ask. I'll
August
tell you.
I can't
23rd.
think. I can't think of any off the top of my head.
So you're saying August 24th is your birthday?
Yes,
That's insane.
Reggie Miller's birthday too. So
My dad's birthday.
oh, that's pretty cool.
So the tunnel is known as the Laurel Hill Tunnel. I had to look that up real quick. It is right off of State Route 76. And if you look at the map, you can actually see where the road went straight ahead right into the tunnel. And on the it's a I think it was 4,500-foot tunnel, and you could literally see the straight line where it cut through the hillside, and where it would connect on the other side had they not gone around the tunnel.
That's a pretty cool fun
Check that
fact.
out sometime, Nathan, since
I
you're
had
over
I
there.
had to look it up on Google to see exactly where it is, but the satellite view shows where the road was versus where they built the road to avoid the tunnel, and I forget exactly how far away it is from my house. It's about 3 hours from my house. It is actually not on the other side of the state. It is just outside of, what is this? Myersdale, and it's south of Johnstown and Latrobe and Pittsburgh. It's south. It's like central in the triangle almost.
I think it's just ironic that I'm in Indiana, Russ is in Ohio, and you're in Pennsylvania. How all three states are like right there next to each
Tri-state thing going on here.
Yeah, I mean it is
Tell you
literally.
if
It's
the
not
weather
very far
wasn't
away from here.
if the weather wasn't looking as crappy as it was for the weekend, I actually was considering coming over and going to Michael's Mercer for the All-Star race, but
I haven't seen anything on them yet. I know that it's not that far. Like Mercer is not that far away from me. It's like 30 minutes. But I haven't looked at the weather yet for this weekend. I know that I really haven't had a whole lot to really be able to do anything because the weather's been crappy.
what's that? What's the one that's like not far from your house, like around the corner?
Sharon. Sharon Speedway is 30 minutes from my house, and it's about the
No,
same
there's
distance from here to Sharon
the
as it
other
is
one that
from
we
here to Mercer.
the other one that we stopped at on the way to Lernerville the time I was over there.
Yeah,
What
that's
was that
Sharon.
other?
That's in Ohio.
No, the other way, going the other way. It wasn't
There's
Sharon.
Mercer.
We didn't really stop at
Mercer's
it. We drove by it real slow. It was
That was Mercer. That was it.
oh, was it? Oh,
That's
okay.
Michael's
I
Mercer.
thought it
We
was a lot
stopped in the
closer.
driveway at Sharon. Michael's Mercer is the one where we passed the car wash and came
Yeah,
out the other side of the courthouse. Yeah. That's Michael's Mercer. That's where
I
you
thought that
were.
was closer than 30 minutes to you.
Oh no, Sharon is 30 minutes. Michael's Mercer is right down the road. Google says it's like 20 minutes. It's more like 30. I don't know where they got their 20 from. It's literally a straight shot from me though, like straight down the road. Currently it says 55% chance of rain for Saturday. I cannot confirm or deny that, but it definitely looks like rain Saturday night. So I would love to think that this weather is going to get better, but we had 90 degrees yesterday, and we are at like 40 right now. Like it is cold as can be right now. So it's 44 here. But yeah, we were all dying of the heat exhaustion yesterday.
Well,
I
any
just,
more indie news, Jason?
uh, I can give you the starting lineup. I can tell you the most wins by a team owner. That's Roger Penske. He's got 19 of them out there, and then Chip Ganassi's in second with 15, I believe.
Who are
What did
your
I
Uh,
hear
picks? Who
about?
are your picks for this weekend?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Russ?
Who are your picks for this weekend? What is your podium looking like?
Um, I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I could really see Alex Palou going back to back, like Joseph Newgarden did a few years ago. I'd go with him first, and then it's a long shot in the dark, but I would really like to see Connor Daly get up there in second. If not him, then maybe Ed Carpenter, another Indiana driver, just like Connor Daly. Um, it's going to be crazy, but you can't ever count him out. Superman, not Superman. I'm sorry, Elio Castroneves. I'd like to see him get number 5 just to set that record.
That'd be cool.
Spider Man, that's what they call him, Spider Man.
Say you're
That's
talking Superman, that'd be Jonathan Davenport in late models on the dirt.
Yes.
a great driver, by the way. I like him a lot. I have been watching a lot of dirt racing since you and I talked about dirt racing the other time, Russ. So try to get very familiar with
And so
the sport.
grew up at the dirt track
Before
watching NASCAR on TV. So I mean, I love dirt racing, man, especially sprint cars. I mean, not to rag on anything else. I'm not taking anything away from late models. They would be my second choice on dirt. But I'm a huge sprint car fan because I had family that raced sprint cars, and that's what we mainly watched. So
before I forget, I need to get your thoughts on this Catherine Legg double. Do you think she will finish on the lead lap at Indy? And what are her chances of pulling it off in NASCAR? I'm questioning the NASCAR stuff, but you watch IndyCar more than both of us, more than any of us. What are your thoughts? Do you think she can do it, or do you think this is just a laughable feat that she's attempting?
I honestly think that if she can, do right on the track by making right choices and taking care of her equipment, she could place on the same lap as the leaders and avoid the crashes and very conservative with her equipment for all 200 laps. She should place pretty well in the 500. The Coke 600, on the other hand, she might finish a lap or two, maybe down at most, but I think she'll still finish the race.
Yeah, but she won't complete the double. You don't think?
I don't think so because I think it's going to do a lot on her mentally and physically because of how demanding
Yeah.
both of them are.
I don't know if the performance, like the car performance, will be able to keep up with her. I just don't think she has the equipment to do it. So I want you to make your prediction. Where do you think she'll finish at Indy? There's what, 24
There's
cars in the field? No, 28.
for the 500, there's
Yes,
30. There's 33 cars.
33. Where do you think she'll finish?
Oh, it's a long shot in the dark. But I'll say 28.
Okay. And you think that'll be on the lead lap? I want to write these down just because I want to see how close you are.
Uh oh, see, you put me a rock in the heart.
I'm going to put you on the spot here. I want
put
to see
you right on the
where you'll
spot.
finish.
Well, crap.
Put him
Sorry.
on the hot seat.
Yeah, I think she'll finish on the lead lap in
So you
28.
think 28th will be the lead lap. Where do you think she'll finish it at Charlotte? I think it was what 40 cars entered, I think.
Yeah, yeah. From what I read at work earlier today, I was looking at the entry list, and I want to say probably 38, 2 laps down, if not
38,
more.
2 laps down. Okay. So you don't think she'll complete the double. Okay.
No, because I think it's really going to do a number on her of how demanding both race cars are and how fast she can adapt from being the Indy car into a stock car.
I'm going to
Disagree
hold you
with
to that.
I'll disagree with Nathan on something though about it being a laughable thing because as long as someone has the experience, like I said, the experience. Let's reiterate that. As
Yeah.
long as somebody has the experience enough in both of those series, and they want to try and attempt the double, I would never laugh at that because
I worded it wrong.
very few people. I know you did, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not ragging on you for it, but very few people have tried it, and even fewer have completed it.
Yes.
So
That
I
I
mean,
didn't mean it as a laughable, like if she completes it, that it's laughable.
I
Do
know
we
what you
think
mean.
this is a laughing matter that she will actually complete it? It's, I guess, what I meant. Because if she can complete it, great. But are we just, putting too much, hype on this versus reality? I guess is what I was trying to get at. Like if she has the experience and can do it, great. But I guess the question is, will she actually do it? The willpower is one thing, but you know, trust me, if I had the willpower, I would do it, and I would give it up. I wouldn't give up until it was officially over.
Did you say willpower there, Nathan?
Willpower, yeah, ha ha ha! I got that pun. That was a good one. I didn't think about that. That's a good one. Before I
Yeah.
forget, what was we? I saw that there was an accident with Alexander Rossi. Will he be able to compete in the 500 on Sunday? Do you think he'll be cleared?
Honestly, think that he's going to have a follow up tomorrow. He's supposed to get the thing off his foot. I think as everything's healed properly, they might do like a modification for his shoes or his uniform or something, and then do some modification for his gloves, for his
Yeah,
hand. He should be good to go.
because I know he
So
had
what?
some sort of cut on his hand or something,
Yeah, he got an abrasion from that wreck that happened Monday during practice. So
and he
all three
qualified
drivers.
what second?
Yeah, he qualified second in the middle of row one, and that was like his best car he's had in quite a while at Indy.
And it
And
What?
just
Am,
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
am I
Russ.
am I wrong, or did I read this wrong, or I could have swore something popped in my feed, my news feed last week about someone being disqualified,
So
or
there's two
was
drivers because they had like illegal modifications on their car, which I was surprised IndyCar officials didn't catch it before qualifying last Sunday, but they caught it right after post qualifying inspection. And I can't remember who the two drivers were, but they got disqualified, and they're going to be sent back to the back of the field on Sunday.
going back to this comment that we that popped up on the screen here. Uh, Parker Speed. Catherine will likely have a good chance at completing the 500, but her NASCAR team is horrid. Any thoughts?
I'm going to have to.
I
Parker
mean,
does
I
bring up.
oh, go ahead.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
he's got a valid point.
Yeah, Parker does have a valid point. I think she does do better in IndyCar. She might surprise us all and do really well in the NASCAR race. Who knows? But we'll see.
I don't know much about her IndyCar career, but NASCAR. I mean, she doesn't have the greatest team in the world. If they consider just finishing each race a successful completion, well, then I absolutely think she has a shot at it. But I mean, if you have to finish on the lead lap to be successful, it's not going to happen, in my opinion.
Hey, all I gotta say is if she can complete this double, she's done something that we haven't been able to see for the last 2 years, and I'll finally be able to hear the end of it.
She'll be the
So I'm pulling for
first
her.
female
I'm
to. I think she's the
pulling for
first.
Catherine Legg.
I think she's the first woman to even attempt it. Or
She is,
Yeah, I'm
yes.
kind
Did
of
Danica
surprised
ever
Danica
attempt it?
didn't. I'm kind of surprised Danica never did.
No, the thing that Dana Kirkpatrick did was she ran the Daytona 500, and her last race was the Indianapolis 500 that same year,
Yeah,
and she wrecked in
I
both of them.
In that,
did she run it? What she had with the seven car
did she
at
ever? Did she ever
Daytona?
finish a
Did she
fucking
ever?
NASCAR race?
I thought she did. Not good. I gotta look and see because now I never
I know
really looked
Tony
to
Stewart
see.
spent a lot of damn money on that car.
Oh God, yeah, he did.
Hey, at least she's back on the broadcast crew, so at least we'll have that entertainment along with Jamie Little.
I'm gonna try to get a picture
She
with her.
managed to score 7 top 10s in her 7 years in NASCAR, which is actually kind of surprising because I never knew that.
It's somebody
And
that was
her
worse than Bubba Wallace.
that is pretty funny actually. I am noticing now that you are right, Jason. I didn't realize she ran the Indy 500 in 2018. I never knew that. She wrecked out of both of them, which is pretty funny. I didn't think about that till just now.
Yeah, the only
I mean,
reason I follow. What were we saying, Nathan?
go ahead. I was just laughing how this went full circle. We went from talking about Natalie Decker to talking about Danica Patrick at the end. That made me laugh.
Uh,
She was still better than Natalie.
Danica has at least one win. It's not in NASCAR, but it's a win, I guess.
hey, she won IndyCar in Japan, so
And then she couldn't do it again.
nope. And next thing you know, she got divorced.
And
It's
she was
time.
dating this QB from Pittsburgh. Blech. I can't
Oh yeah,
stand him.
Which
He's
which
not
team
that
was he
good.
on when they were dating though?
Green Bay.
Wisconsin, Green Bay.
Neither one was very good.
go Colts. Well, I'm sorry, what?
I don't follow the NFL, so I really don't care. I don't even have a damn
Me
team.
neither.
Even if I did, being from Ohio, I sure as hell wouldn't root for the Browns.
I do have to laugh because I was sitting here reading these stats. Um, she wants to go. Sorry, I'm going to let Jason finish, but I do have a fun fact for Natalie Decker's stats that I decided I'm going to look it up, and it is kind of funny.
Star.
What else you got,
Um,
Jason?
that's pretty much it. I think it should be a good race as long as the weather holds up. Because Indiana, we have like the most weirdest weather. One day it's gonna rain on Sunday, then next day I look, it's not gonna rain. And it's like, dude, make up your mind. I mean, I'm gonna be at the race on Sunday. It's gonna be a long day, so get up at 3 a.m. So does the track up at 6 when they shoot the cans off. It's a new
Bought a
experience.
literally bought a camper at the end of the year last year. Kind of waiting for the fall sales and everything, so I could take SG on the road to the dirt tracks. And every time I get a free damn weekend this year, Mother Nature says, "Nope, too bad. You're not going to any dirt racing this
I
weekend."
kind of want to see how Mansfield is. Hopefully, that's a good weekend. I heard that track's
I
gonna be good.
I do have my camping spot already paid for, and that is for the October 9th Buckeye Brawl from Sheldon Hansfield and the World of Outlaws. So, kind of looking forward to that. Hopefully, weather doesn't kill us on that one either, and I could do a decent live show from at least my campsite. I know I probably can't um, podcast from
We'll find you
inside
some
because
Wi-Fi.
Dirt Vision will actually have the rights to that because it's an outlaw show. So, but it'll be fun. They
So
did
I
move
went
it
in and
from
good.
they moved it from Millstream to Mansfield this year. Millstream was absolutely horrendous. The track was just falling apart, and I mean not to say anything bad about the track crew there or the racetrack. I know those new owners are trying very very hard, and they want it to be successful. So, just got some learning to do. Got some work to do. So, anyway, sorry, Nathan, go ahead.
So to recap on the we were talking about the Natalie Decker versus Haley Deegan stats. So I pulled up Haley Deegan's stats and I'm pulling up Natalie Decker's currently. Um, and I will say it is not really. I mean, they are kind of close, but not really. So Natalie Decker completed in the ARCA East Series. She ran one race for 1 year, 2019, at Bristol. No wins, no top tens, no poles at all in 2019. ARCA Series in general has 12 top tens, one pole. In the Truck Series, she's got one top 10. One. Nothing. Absolutely nothing in O'Reilly. That's Natalie Decker. We go to Haley Deegan. We know she is at least one win in the ARCA Series West. It turns out she actually had 3 wins, 6 top 10s, and 5 poles. That's Haley Deegan, and that's like the lowest series I had there. We go on to the ARCA Series East, which is what Natalie was competing in. Haley has 5 top 5s compared to what? Natalie's, what are we looking at? 12? And Natalie had one pole. So she's a little bit better in the ARCA series than Haley was. But this is where it gets, or no, I guess I did have that wrong. No, I was right. Yeah. This is where it gets a little interesting. Haley has 12 top 10s in the ARCA series. And Natalie Decker has 12 at a pole. So about even there. We go on to the Truck Series. Haley has 5 top 10s. Natalie, 1. Do I dare go to ARCA? Neither one's very good. But still, you have better performance to Haley Deegan than Natalie Decker by a good amount. What? 21-0 versus 12 and 1. She's more consistent in finishes than she is with starts versus starts. Natalie has one pole. You can get lucky and get a pole. Still couldn't finish very many races. At least Haley Deegan can get finishes. It's not about where you start the race, it's where you finish. And stats really can't lie. Haley Deegan was better than Natalie Decker in a number of different places. And also, you got to keep in mind that Natalie Decker was in Ventrini Motorsports equipment. They were insanely good. They were basically cherry picking the entire series. It's kind of hard to argue with those stats when you don't have to drive the car. It's just that good. So,
Performance at the NASCAR truck race this past weekend just reminds me of what Tim Dalen said in Days of Thunder. What is the absolute one thing you need to do to win a race? You need to finish.
yes. And
Great
one
quote.
top 10 is not going to cut it.
I did forget to add one thing to the Indy 500 thing. If you guys don't mind,
Go ahead. What's up?
Absolutely, go for it.
so there's one rookie driver I'm actually rooting for. I'm very biased, unfortunately, about this, but his name's Mick Schumacher. He's the son of Michael Schumacher.
I was waiting for him to cover this.
Yeah, because Michael Schumacher is my goat in F1, but that's just me. But I hope Mick has a good race and can at least place in the top 10.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. I didn't know his boy was running. I had no idea. I remember Michael, but
Didn't didn't last year a rookie win the pole for the 500 last year? I forget the guy's name, but didn't he win last year?
He didn't win last year, but he did win the pole.
That's
Robert
what I meant. Yeah,
Schwartzman, he's from Israel.
that's still
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
yeah, first time he was ever on oval, and he ends up winning the pole. That was pretty crazy.
Makes you wonder if running a road course is really that much different than running an oval. It's way harder to run a road course. I guess he made it look easy running an oval.
I guess you could just say he knew how to switch grooves.
Ha
here,
ha!
hey,
I see what you did there. That was
plugging
a
it
good
in.
one.
So here's a big question for you. Are you actually going to be at Indianapolis?
Yes, I will be there Sunday.
Lucky.
Maybe I'll have to drive over there because the weather going east doesn't look good. So I'll
Yeah,
just
I
I'll just
know.
crash at my mom's house over there. But I'd have to get a ticket off a scalper. I'm sure it's sold out.
Um, the grandstands are sold out. I think the infield might still be available, and then parking, that's all sold out, unfortunately.
There isn't even a good concerts this year. I heard. I heard the Snake Pit got taken out.
Yeah, unfortunately, they got these little techno groups coming in, and Rob Gronkowski's going to be there as the Snake Pit DJ or whatever.
Oh
What do they call him?
gosh, one of them Gronkowski raves. Great.
Yep.
I could totally see Russ down there in the pit. That would be just right up his alley.
I'll buy the infield ticket and go in there. I don't care, but I'm not going down to no damn pit.
Well, pit road maybe you might. That'd be kind of cool, but not about the pit.
But this has been it's been fun. It's actually been 40 minutes overtime tonight. So if everybody's done, I think we'll go ahead and wind it down.
We don't even get overtime in IndyCar. I guess we had to do a little bit of extra laps.
Mhm.
But so uh in conclusion, I mean, to me, the racing events of early May have actually underscored a fundamental truth in professional motorsports. Momentum is the most valuable yet most fragile currency. Aaron Reutzel and David Gravel currently hold the dominant positions in the sprint car world, having mastered the technical nuances of varying track surfaces at Eldora and Grandview. However, the sudden contraction of Shark Racing and the high profile separation between Boguski and the Three Stooges team serve as stark reminders that stability is never guaranteed, even for established drivers. In the NASCAR ranks, the tactical brilliance of Corey Day, the historic first career win for Caden Honeycutt, and Denny Hamlin's concrete mastery at Dover signal a shift toward a more diversive, competitive field. As the circuits actually transition to the Monster Mile at Dover and return to the legendary high banks of Eldora later in the season, the technical data banked this week will serve as a baseline for the next chapter. For the drivers and teams of Switching Grooves, here it actually remains unchanged. The mission remains unchanged. Adapt quickly, trust our crewmates, Nathan, Jason, everybody in the background that you don't see, and we never stop hunting for the next groove. So, but remember, we bring you recaps, breakdowns, and all those insane adrenaline packed moments every week. Whether you live for those sideways mudslinging dirt track sliders or the door banging paint trading action in NASCAR, you belong right here. Hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a finish. And until next time, keep switching grooves. I'm Russ Fritz.
I'm Nathan Johns.
And I'm Jason Schweitzer.
We're saying race hard,
Stay safe.
and we'll see you there. Good night,
Good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.